The Sims 4 is no longer The Sims 4, it is The Sims Forever. You might also refer to it as the accidental rush to release Project Olympus Leftovers. Whatever you refer to it as, The Sims 5 isn't coming. All we have for the future of The Sims is Sims 4 expansion packs and Sims 4 Battle Pass events. In an ideal world, I'd like to make this a Sims 5 wish list, but being realistic, I want to talk about my wish list for the next year of The Sims 4, but not necessarily just talking about packs that I want, but more so just things that I want, which will obviously happen to come in packs. So it's a mixture of like features that I want, but also pack concepts. If we look at the Sims 4 base game at the different carpets that we have like the standard one here, and we have this, I guess, like kind of fancier but old-fashioned one here too. Then we have this thing and we have this thing, but that's it for the base game and it's really tragic. Also, this is the only basic carpet in the game. Just, do you know what I mean? Like a standard, normal looking carpet. And it does appear to come in quite a few swatches, but it doesn't really come with that much. I really miss The Sims 3 with the create a style tool where you can exactly pick out what carpet that you want. It's so bizarre to me that we only have one basic rug. The only other basic rug we have in the game is the one that comes in the pastel pop kit. Even so, it's very like over the top. It's extremely plush. It's almost like a rug more than a carpet. Also, the swatches, you know, they're not normal swatches. They're quite niche, most of these, making it again quite a hard one to use. And then obviously all of the other rugs in the game, they're not really suitable for the average house. So it leaves us in a bit of a situation where it's like, what can you actually achieve in terms of carpets? And I think there's a lot of room to add more. If you just look at like Sims 4 CC carpets, like there's so many. Obviously a lot of them do look alpha, but at the very least, okay, what about just a different standard carpet swatch which didn't look like the base game one, like this style of carpet, for example? We don't have any carpets like this. There's absolutely no variety, nothing that looks, see, this looks really realistic. It's so bizarre to me how they can give us like a million different wood floor planks in every single pack, yet we never actually get a carpet. We've got so many floor planks to choose from. They're just bloody floor planks. What more could you need? What more could you want? We've got so many of these, yet we don't have any carpets. I don't know if any of you guys are programmers, coders, if you're CC creators, if somebody knows why it's not possible for the Sims team to make spiral staircases, could you please enlighten me? Because for the life of me, I don't understand, because we've had them in all the other Sims games, but not the Sims 4. The latest release, the supposedly most up-to-date best Sims game. Why is it not capable of having spiral staircases in it? If it's because of the way stairs are coded, maybe they should just code spiral stairs in a different way and just, do you know what I mean? Just do something different. I'm not just talking about spiral staircases either. I'm also talking about like the curved ones, the more grand ones. And not just that, I would also like to address, if you're making one of these like diagonal platforms here, you still can't actually place stairs on a diagonal, meaning that you could never make a diagonal staircase. And I don't really understand why. If there's something wrong with the way stairs are coded, maybe they should change it. And honestly, I feel like this is so necessary because we all know stairs are glitchy. Like, you know, the way banisters and fences glitch through each other. They glitch a little bit with foundations. They kind of glitch through the walls. There's a lot of issues with staircases, and I don't understand why they can't just totally change the way that they work. Of course, if we release The Sims 5, this wouldn't be an issue because we'd have a new Sims game, but obviously that's not happening. So if they want to stick with this pile of trash, at least make it functional trash. I don't know how they could implement staircases into an expansion pack, but I'm sure they could think of something. Get sloped sounds almost like an insult, doesn't it really? To show off what I mean by get sloped, we're going into Oasis Springs. I'm going to go into one of these lots here. Now, this lot is kind of like near the edge. Can you see where this rocky cliff face is? Now, imagine this lot, okay, vision the actual buildable space reaching over to where this rock is and being able to build a house over a rock face. Wouldn't that be cool? Because literally zero 0 or maybe like 1 or 2 lots in the Sims 4 base game use terrain paint, but no lots by default actually have manipulated terrain in them. I think it would be really cool to have a lot, for example, which was like on a mountain, and that you would build the foundation like kind of over the mountain, and then it would likely be on stilts or something like this over a mountaintop. It's hard to put my vision into practice because I'm just using like a default weird random lot, but let's say you've got like a proper house, okay? The house is sat comfortably on a lot like this, but then the lot kind of slopes down, so you got stilts. Something that we've never really had in The Sims 4 before is like a mountainous region, a mountainous world full of mountains everywhere and lots which have terrain that you can't change. So it's like all of the terrain in the lot is kind of sloped up on a mountain, but you can't really manipulate it, so you have to build around it. Wouldn't that be cool? Because inherently you can, you know, apply terrain paint on a lot itself, but fundamentally the core lot will always be flat. Again, this wasn't actually an issue in previous Sims games. In The Sims 3, you could actually build a lot on sloped land and you could terraform around it, but you could also kind of had to build around it too, and it presented some unique and interesting build challenges, allowing you to make lots over cliff faces. It was really, really cool. And because The Sims 4 is more primitive, yes, I'm being so catty today because I need to drill it in that The Sims 4 ever is a terrible idea. Because The Sims 4 only has a basic bitch flat lots, just like your flat ass, there's no creativity with it. I would just like a brand new pack to come with a world which was full of sloped lots that you had to build around. I think it would be really cool. Does anyone remember a few months ago The Sims team did this World of Colour, a Life of Colour update, whatever they called it? And this is where they took a lot of the base game build stuff and added like some more random colours to them, which was nice. I mean, they didn't add colour swatches to everything, so there are still items that are kind of part of the same set, but the colour swatches still don't match, but whatever. What I would like to see, which I don't think is unrealistic as a base game update, is to actually update some of the base game plants, because this is one aspect of The Sims 4 that's really falling behind. Like in the World of Colour update, whatever they called it, they gave this bush like a red swatch, but what about like a lighter green swatch? Or like this grass here, it's only in one swatch. This green bush is only in one swatch. This is only in one swatch. This is only in one swatch. This is only one swatch. And when you try and put it together, maybe it doesn't look the best. I feel like plants could do with a swatch update, like a lot of the base game plants, and maybe even trees as well. I don't think that would be a bad idea. Also, I don't know why the Sims team are so rock phobic. They're deep rooted in rock phobia because we haven't got any new ones for literally ages. Do we even have any outside of the base game? We got like one that came in a kit, this random one that looks like debug. These Zen ones which don't count because you can't use them outside of Snowy Escape. Like maybe we could just have a whole outdoor plants category overhaul. I think that would be really good. And also some flower beds. Somewhere in debug, there we go, you can find these different planter pot things. I'm saying they're pots. Would you call it a bed? I think you called it a bed. And then obviously you can put like different plants in these. So you can build up like a cute little bed thing going on here. If they wouldn't want to give us brand new plant swatches in the base game for free, because why would they do anything like that? Instead, wouldn't it be actually quite nice to have like an actual like special way of making planters? Because the only way you can actually make these kinds of planters in The Sims 4 right now is to take this exact base game fence, just this one, and then just like place plants in it. I think it would be nice to have something a little bit nicer that you can actually make proper planter beds with, and I think that could work maybe well in an expansion pack if they wanted to, or in a kit. I know cars are not coming to The Sims 4. They can't come to The Sims 4. In certain lots, like this one, there's actually a roadside, so it would make sense to have a driveway. But then in a lot like this, you couldn't really have a car, you couldn't have a driveway. This isn't The Sims 2 or 3, I'm afraid. So there are two ways EA could go about cars, okay? The first way is to have cars that are just stuck on the lot, and somebody actually made a car. It was Max20 who made made a great mod. It's very simple. It comes with Max's Match cars and you can put them on a lot. It comes with stuff to make a garage and a driveway, and you simply click on the car and you click travel to and you go to a different destination. So it just kind of fades in and out, just like Sims do anyway. Maybe something like that could work, but being realistic, I think cars would just have to be locked to a specific world, a brand new car world, which is so bloody sad. It is incredibly sad, actually. A couple of months ago, I did actually discuss a Sims 4 survey where they spoke about the future of Sims 4 packs and different ideas that Sims had to vote on. And one of them was about kind of having a camper van and being able to drive off in a van. It's not the same as having a car. I don't know how it would work. I feel like the ship has sailed for cars, but if they introduced cars in a world and you could only use them to drive around in this specific world, I personally would be happy with that, as long as cars weren't added as a major feature, because I think that would be really distasteful. If it was just a very minor bonus feature added onto another pack, I think it would be fine. Being realistic though, they probably make it the whole feature, knowing EA, but I think if it was a minor feature of a wider pack, maybe it could work. I kind of wanted to address it because I know everyone talks about it. I think they could do it, but it would be impossible for them to do it in a tasteful way. This is why I just think it would have to really be done as a minor feature. So in addition to my rant about car picks, I would also like to rant about Lino. In The Sims 4, we have two, which look like this, both of which look pretty crap. Both of which, by the way, have actually no color swatches. I feel like EA haven't added any Lino because they thought, well, nobody uses it. But it's kind of like a cause and a chicken and egg situation. In terms of ones from other packs, we got this one from Get to Work, which is a bit crap. This crappy one from Get to Work. This crappy one from Get to Work. EA's deep-rooted in Linophobia, I think so. Why can't we have like nice normal looking Lino? Let's take a look at some CC. This looks quite nice. The one that's expanded. Oh, these look pretty cool, don't they? These look like quite good ones. Again, basic color swatch updates for the standard base game one. There's a lot they could do, but they haven't, and I don't know why. Live living, not live living. So the first live careers we got were the Get to Work ones, and the final one that we ever got was the Grim Reaper one. Now, looking at the Grim Reaper one in the Life and Death pack, I thought it was fun, but there's only, I believe, like 3 to 4 different types of work days that actually exist, and then you just randomly cycle between these. There's absolutely no depth to them at all. I do definitely think live careers make The Sims 4 a lot more fun, but they do get incredibly repetitive for no reason at all. Going through the different career ranks, for example, of the Grim Reaper career, it doesn't actually change anything. Your job is the same. All of the missions and work tasks you do are the same no matter what level you are. The Get to Work ones are a little bit better, but I definitely think it would suit The Sims 4 well to have a few more professions that you actually do, which feel more exciting, instead of just having the same repetitive tasks. I mean, Sims 4 packs are like £40. I don't know what it is in dollars. It's a lot of money. You can buy a whole video game for that much money. A video game with over 100 hours worth of gameplay. So I don't see why it should be so hard for EA to actually make a pack with live careers which had multiple different kinds of things that you can do on different work days, which depended on your career level. I think it would make a world of difference to actually make live careers more fun. How would they implement live careers in a future pack? I don't know, but I definitely think they could be more ambitious. For example, with The Sims 4 Discover University, as well as going to the different classes, you also have to do things like assignments and presentations. Imagine if there was like an admin job, just a basic office job in The Sims 4 that was live, where you have to do your regular daily duties, but in addition to these, you also have to prepare for a presentation. If you're higher up in the career level, you also have to hold a meeting once a week at some point. Maybe there will be like an emergency, the company's losing money, you need to choose 1 or 2 employees to fire, for example, or you need to hire an employee, or there's an ongoing thing going on in the background where there's a big project and you need to finish certain things for the project in time. There are various different ways that I think they could go about having like daily work tasks as they already do, but maybe also a larger overarching project or something with jobs. I feel like that would work well. You guys let me know what careers you would like to see. I genuinely would like just like a normal boring office job in The Sims 4. Maybe that's unpopular. EA could not justify putting like a brand new like world navigation screen locked behind a pack. Okay, maybe this is probably the least realistic of them all, because updating the map screen would not make them any money. I just feel like with more and more packs now, this system is not it. You have to go by these weird ass looking pictures, which is actually not very intuitive in my personal opinion, especially the fact that you have to scroll. Look how many worlds we've got. The Sims 4 has been out so long, you have to literally scroll to see all the maps. Not only that, okay, destination worlds are not it. There's no reason why Salvadorada and Granite Falls can't just get out of here and become residential. Even if they are destination worlds, have the ability to at least just plop a residential lot in there. I don't know why that would be so difficult. Modders have already done it, so we know it's possible. But I would like a world map screen. So a lot of people have actually theorized that The Sims 4 is all a part of like a huge map where they're all interlinked. I personally disagree, because I think The Sims 4 is too shallow for them to consider something like that as they go along. But people have theorized about where the different kind of worlds meet and connect with each other. Some of them obviously do, like Magnolia Promenade, New Crest, and Willow Creek are basically the same thing. So people have made these different kinds of maps which dictate where they think, you know, all the different packs belong. I personally would find something like this a lot more exciting to look at than just looking at this. I think it would be a lot cooler and more exciting, and then we wouldn't have destination worlds a lot behind here either. I never hear anybody talk about this for like a future update, but you guys let me know what you think. I just feel like something like this would be really cool. So I mentioned before a couple of months ago, EA did like a poll thing where they were asking people what kind of things you'd like to see in future packs. And there is one thing that I want to go back to. Dive into a vibrant 80s, 90s retro world with bustling mall venues and freelance careers. Hang out at the arcade, comic book store, game board, cafe and ramen shop. Enjoy classic activities like tabletop role-playing games, landline phones and rollerblading. Be a babysitter, deliver newspapers, or be a beloved lifeguard at the community pool. Have a blast on the water slide and drink from the hose whilst reliving this vintage era through old-time objects, unique storylines and unforgettable drama. Being realistic, would EA introduce... Oh, I just noticed that I did the E wrong at cafe and that's really pissing me off. Realistically, would EA introduce all these features into a pack? No. If this was The Sims 3, they would have, but The Sims 4 is not ambitious. So being realistic, they wouldn't dare give us this many features in a brand new pack. A ramen shop would just be one of these food stalls. So we probably already have a ramen one. Being realistic, because The Sims 4 is a very disjointed game and a very stingy game, a ramen shop would just be a food store, which is underwhelming, but still, that's how they would do it, okay? Next up, a game board, cafe, arcade, comic book store. They wouldn't give us 3 community lots in one, but we could simply have an arcade lot type, which comes with various different arcade machines, including a magazine stand from which you can purchase comic books, which would just go in your standard Sims 4 bookshelf. They can include collectible comic books in addition to that as a brand new collection type, because I'm just giving EA all these ideas for free. We know every Sims 4, well, most Sims 4 packs come with a new collection. Collectible comic books would be a great addition in addition to regular comic books that you could read, and also a special kind of frame where you could frame the comic books. And then obviously in terms of game board, they also mention tabletop role-playing games. Instead of making this an actual object, what they would probably do is add this to like the games table that we've already got in the game, if you know what I mean. Like we've got all these different game tables. With the Growing Together pack, they added the functionality to do jigsaw puzzles on one of these. So they could just add the functionality to do a tabletop role-playing game on these and actually give you like a couple of costumes that you can wear, like dorky costumes costume. I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons because I'm quite dramatic. I would probably end up enjoying it knowing me. But I think sometimes like they dress up and they do the whole like role-playing thing, don't they? So if you came with like costumes that you can wear whilst doing it and just playing it on this, so it wouldn't even require new objects, but you would put this in an arcade in addition to loads of other different arcade machines, because we don't have any arcade machines in The Sims 4. They could add a basic single player thing like pinball or something. I don't think that would be hard. We've already got basketball, so I don't see why they couldn't add a hoops game or just something else. That would be possible, and to put them all into an arcade lot. And in order to make the gameplay feel special, other than just giving you mootlets, a +1 happy moodlet from playing, what they could do is if you win on an arcade machine, you get a certain number of tokens, and then you could exchange these at a token prize counter. This wouldn't be managed by an NPC because Sims 4 Townie AI is too dumb. It could be a self-service thing where you exchange your tokens for certain prizes, whether that be a special toy, a special collectible comic book, it could be a special outfit, collecting it for unique items that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to get in build mode. That would be really fun. We actually had that in The Sims 1, would you believe? We got arcades where you get tokens from them which you exchange for prizes. So if they could have done it in the year 2000, is there any reason why they can't do it in 2025? Probably because it's The Sims 4, but we can be hopeful. Realistically, would they introduce a mall venue? Absolutely not, because the Get to Work retail system exists. How on earth would they get a mall to function? I just can't see it working. Retail already doesn't work in Get to Work very well. How would they manage to improve it in another pack? I just don't think that one's possible. Freelance careers, again, I don't think EA would be generous enough to give us all of this in one pack, but I definitely think a rabbit hole part-time career, as what if they put here, newspaper delivery person, or well, they wouldn't add lifeguard because that's in Undead Living pack, but maybe a babysitter or something. If they were feeling generous, a live babysitting career I think would be fun. We did have that in The Sims 3 Generations, where kids would actually come to your house and you had to get them to do their homework and stuff as well as looking after their needs. Or they could just make it a rabbit hole career, I'm not too sure, but I feel like they could at least add it in some way. Also, landline phones, there's no reason why they literally couldn't do that. It wouldn't be hard. Rollerblading as well, we've already got it in The Sims 4 Seasons, so it could just add additional functionality to The Sims 4 Seasons skating rink. Seasons has been out for ages, most Sims already have it. I don't think Sims would be annoyed if we got another rink in this pack for rollerblading. That one is like my ultimate dream. Everybody's creaming themselves over the thought of having fairies in The Sims 4. I've said over the past couple of years, I just don't know if fairies are gonna come, and even if they do come, are they gonna be any better than the Sims 4 Fairies mod that's out right now? Because that mod is bloody incredible. It is such an amazing mod. Genuinely my favorite mod, I think, for The Sims 4 of all time. How could EA implement a system that's going to be better than that? I don't know. So I wanted to just put that at the side and think about other occults that we could get. In the Strangerville pack, we have those weird Sims, but they're not really like zombies. They're just like infected Sims. They don't function like zombies. They're not really a proper occult. They're a temporary state. I personally would love to see zombies as a proper occult, where if they die under certain conditions, maybe they could be resurrected and turned into a zombie, and maybe zombie Sims could have some special functionalities. I think it's really creative because zombies aren't set in stone in terms of how they work. I just feel like there's so much they could do with it. EA owns the right to the Plants vs Zombies game. I don't know if you guys have played it. RIP to Plants vs Zombies, killed off by microtransactions, but it used to be very fun. So EA could definitely do some kind of crossover thing. They actually did that, by the way, in The Sims 3, Plants vs Zombies crossover with zombies. It came in the Supernatural pack and it's very cool. I don't think they could realistically put zombies in a whole expansion pack, but at the very least, I think zombies could work as a cult added to another pack. Even if they were just a temporary life state, I just think it would be funny. The Sims 4 is missing a lot of the fun and chaos that previous Sims games had still, and I feel like something like that would just be really cool. So that is my wish list. You tell me what your your wish lists are, but you have to be realistic. This is the caveat to you giving me your opinion in the comments. You have to give me a realistic answer of what you want to come. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.